Hello, hello, hello. This is your host, Sahar and Radi. Today I choose to speak about success because it's what all of us want, all of us need. We all work hard so we can be successful, so we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And one thing that always made me stop for a while or stop for a minute and think is this is that whenever I do my training session, I always ask my participants, what is your definition of success? And I have been so surprised by getting so many different answers. And for me, in my mind, I thought, well, success is what we all look for, so I'm sure that it's the same thing. So, have you ever wondered if you achieved success in your life, how would your life look like? Or do you think you have what it needs to be successful, but you're not there yet? Or have you been successful before in your life? And what does success means to you? Yes, to you. How do you define it? And why do you define it that way? And why we should think about success? Because sometimes when we are working so hard and we are working for our future and we are working for our company, or we're working towards having a better family or better communication or being a better leader or being a better entrepreneur, the only thing that can help us getting into that success without getting into down spiral of depression and of negative thinking is to go back with our mind into that time when we have achieved success. And I'm sure we all have achieved success before many times. So we need to go to the one that is very clear in our mind. We go into that time and we live it, and we bring these positive feelings, this positive emotion of achievement, of fulfillment, of satisfaction to where we are today. Because in our mind, since we did it before, we can replicate it. And that's part of what we call appreciative inquiry. And I just came to my mind that I should do a podcast about appreciative inquiry. Actually, I was doing training today about emotional intelligence, and I included appreciative inquiry in it. And it was great. I didn't think that people would like it that much. And most of them told me that they had never heard about it before. So I'll probably do a podcast about that. And if you need any information or you want me to talk about any subject in the future, you can look at our website, www.reinventyourselftogreatness.com, or email me at info@reinventyourselftogreatness.com. So let's go back to our subject of the day that we're talking about, which is success. So when I ask my participants or the people that are in my training, I'm really amazed by some of the answers. And sometimes I think that, you know what, I know it all, and I get it. But sometimes the answers that I hear make me think some more. And actually, some of them makes me feel very emotional because it's personal and it means something to people. Obviously, we all want to achieve success. In reality, each one of us have a different meaning of success. But the most important part is that we need to understand that. We need to understand that whatever we see other people, especially now on Facebook, everybody puts the best of their life on Facebook, not really telling you if it's the truth or not, but they just want you to know that how great life they're having. So before we start comparing ourselves to others, and before we start judging if we're successful or we're not, we need to first understand what is our own individual definition of success. Our own, not whatever our parents wants us to be, not what our spouse wants to be, not what my boss wants me to be. What is it that individually, personally, you, yes, you, want to achieve, and what is your definition of success? Because if you don't, no matter what you do, it's not going to take you anywhere. So before we set the goals that are designed to make us happy, we need to make sure that we know what we mean by success. Before we drive, we put a GPS or print MapQuest directions. We need directions to get there, to get to our goal, to achieve our fulfillment, to be a better entrepreneur, to be a better womanpreneur, right? My fierce womanpreneurs. So for some, success means career achievement. And for some, it's being like the first member of a family to go to college. For some, it's being the first person in the family to buy a house. For some, it's executing a business idea. For some, starting a business, being an entrepreneur and succeeding and making sure that our dreams come true. And for some, it's just having a family or having a child. And the list goes on. As you can see, there are so many different definitions to success. But this is our map. This is our blueprint to achieve our goals. And that's why we need to start. Personally, at different stages of my life, success meant different things. Now what it means to me is having a great family, cherish my husband, love my dogs, love my stepchildren, my grandsons and my granddaughter, live in the house that I love, drive the car that I want. And it doesn't have to be a Lamborghini. And I don't have to live on a top of a hill that I'm the only one there. It doesn't have to be all that. But it has to be the house that I feel good in it, that it's home. It's not a house, it's a home. And a car that I love, that means something to me, not necessarily, like I said, the Lamborghini. For me, success is having more business that I wish to have, because my passion is to impact people's life. And that's why maybe part of it is doing the podcast. Is to have the financial stability, not necessarily being rich, but have the financial stability for now and for the future. All that while I'm in peace with myself. And maintaining as much as I can the elusive, what we call work-life balance. So do you think that's too much to ask? I don't think so. I have to admit that when I started my business, success for me was to grow the business fast. So I put 18 hours of work every day, 7 days a week, sacrificing a lot. It created a lot of issues at home and within the family that I have. I was blinded by it, and I couldn't see anything except the business success, to the point where it was going to actually cost me my family, because I had the wrong definition of success. I consider myself lucky that in due time, I turned around the process and I made the shift that kept my family together, and at the same time, I came back to the roots of my non-negotiable values, which the top of these my non-negotiables are my family, is my family. I did that, and I still maintain the success in my business because I went back to who I am. I went back to my definition of success. I went back to the blueprint that I had put in my life a long time ago. I see and I coach a lot of career-minded people and even business owners and entrepreneurs that will give away anything to be successful. So their definition of success becomes tied to their title, to their position, how much they make, what car do they drive, where do they live, and how much is in their bank account. They become defined by all the exterior superficial factors, though they are important, and I get that, because like I shared before, some of these are important to me too, but it shouldn't be our only measure of success. Because we should not get under this myth that this is how our current society measures our success with. I honestly don't care what society sees me as successful or not, as long as I know I'm successful and I have my family and I'm happy and I'm satisfied and I've impacted other people's lives, and I'm helping other people, and I'm fulfilled. I have met some people that are extremely, extremely successful professionally, or in their business, they are miserable, at least not content or satisfied inside. So I saw both, as they based everything on the external factors, wrongly relating status with happiness. That's why I thought to do this podcast. Success is great. And I mean, we all want it. We all should look to work towards that success and own it. But also, it's very important to be careful that, yes, we own our success, but not to be owned by it. And there is a huge difference. We don't want to be a parent that because we wanted to make our business successful and being a great entrepreneur or a great leader or have a career achievement, that we put all our effort in that and we didn't attend our children baseball games or little plays that did at school. Because once these little events pass, we can never have them back. And our children will grow without our presence in their life. And we live to regret it in so many ways. So we don't want to do that. We want to own our success, but not be owned by it. Most people that get consumed by success or by their search for success become unhappy, obsessed, and unlikely to be happy and satisfied with what they have. As soon as they reach a goal, it's not enough for them. They go for the next one, then the next one, then the next one, and so on. That's why we need to have the definition, the pure definition of our success. We make choices in life based on our priorities. So before embarking on our success adventure, we need to make conscious choices to know what we mean. Most of us, and we need not to be swayed but what others or what society deems as successful. Basically, owning our success and not becoming slaves to it. And I see it in so many times where people, yes, they are at the top of what other people consider success, but they're empty inside. There is a void inside of them. And that's why we need to think first about our definition of success. We feel that the more successful we are, the more we get to live the way we want, afford to buy and own things, spend our time the way we want it. In summary, be free to do whatever, whenever we want to do, whenever we want to do. Simple, right? But really, is it ever that simple? It's so easy to fall hostage to our success. So these are actually 11 tips on how to make sure that your success does not own you and how to actually achieve your success and not be owned by it. So one, the starting point is to know your own definition of success. And this is what we have been saying the whole podcast, by being honest with yourself. Not through someone else's interpretation of success, not through what society considers success, rather what it means to you. Yes, to you personally. Number two, have a purpose. Know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? And why are you doing what you're doing and how? Because when we find our purpose, when we find our why, we are directly connecting to the place or the center in our brain that is responsible for our decision, specifically the gut decisions. And that part has nothing to do with language. It just will help you take that decision to know the why, the purpose that will move you forward, that will basically answer the question why you believe what you believe is important. What is the reason You're going through all that effort and commitment. That's the why. Without knowing where you're going, you will never reach any destination, right? And you will be going in circles. Remember the story of the old guy that met a young person at the fork of roads. And then the older person asked the younger person, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm not sure. I don't know." So the older person told him, "I guess it doesn't matter which side of the fork you take." And that makes sense. And that's why we need to regroup. Definition, purpose. Number 3, goal setting. Establish from the get-go what we want to achieve. Dividing big goals into smaller ones, bite size, that we can do. Visualizing that success on achieving these goals. Not only what it looks like, but also what it feels like inside of you. Start with the end in mind, like the great Stephen Covey said. Keep focusing on the end goal and celebrate the small wins. Number 4, priorities. Since we're doing goals and we know our purpose, we know how to set our priorities. So priorities are not only about goal setting but also priorities is what we value most in life. So for me, it was my family. So the priorities could be our family, our children, our education, our career, our homes, our happiness, helping others, or inner peace. All these are valid points. Number 5, find that work and life balance. And like we say in French, it's éphémère. Éphémère meaning just like it's not, it's like it's water between your fingers. You cannot really catch it, but we need to thrive to do the best out of it. All work, no fun is stressful. Stress creates tension, and tension creates anxiety. And anxiety can create unhappiness. It's a vicious circle. It's important to have hobbies. Do fun things. Spend time with your loved ones, our loved ones. It will never be a 50-50, but at least we can have some balance in our lives. Number 6, have a support system. Surround yourself with people that have the same values as you do. Not the naysayers, not the people that tells you you will never make it. Surround yourself with people that genuinely care about you, that love you, that can also hold you accountable for your actions. Not the naysayers, not the negative people, because these will bring you down, my friends. Number 7, gratitude. And for me, this is the most important part in that whole list. Gratitude. Be grateful for everything we have, every little thing we have, anything and everything that happens to us, good, bad, and ugly. We need to appreciate the lessons that we learn from failures as well as from success, and be grateful for the people that support us throughout our whole journey. Number 8, know how to appreciate what you have. And I know it sounds like gratitude, but it's appreciation. Appreciating what we have, people around us, is the second step after being grateful. I'm sorry, I mean appreciating what we have, like people around us, wealth, knowledge, education, nice home, is the second step after being grateful. So gratitude and appreciation. Letting people we cherish know how much we appreciate them and why. It's crucial to our relationship that they are the essence of life. Stop and smell the roses. Number 9, no one enough is enough. Gathering treasures of the world is not necessarily a success story or a formula even for happiness. We each have different levels to what enough is enough. Knowing then, when it comes to family and love, enough is never enough. But other materialistic things, knowing enough is enough. I mean, you can tell for me, family is the most important part in my life. And that includes even my little dogs, Cammy and Lexi. Number 10, Reach out to others. Offer a helping hand. They say that the happiest people on earth are the people that give and give and give and don't expect anything in return. Generous people. Offer a helping hand, volunteer, mentor, coach, help someone out of a bad situation. Give money. Have a giving attitude. Give, 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 and then give some more without expecting anything in return. It creates inner satisfaction and happiness. The last but not least point is having empathy. And I'm finding out more and more that a lot of people don't have empathy. And empathy, some people can have compassion and being kind and being generous, but have zero empathy. So what we need to be kind, not only to others, but to yourself first and foremost. In conclusion, the more freedom we have, the more we spend our time in the way we want and feel like the more successful we feel. It's very easy to lose ourselves in achieving success, where every single step takes us deeper, where we can forget to go back to the shore, to enjoy the beauty around us. That's where mindfulness and living in the moment is important. Own your success. Wear it with pride. Do not become owned by your success. Do not become slave to it. Ask yourself, what does success mean to me? There are no right or wrong answers, just your personal answers. It's personal, and you just need to be honest with yourself. We all have a light inside of us. We all have a genius inside of us. Use that light to light your pathway and light the pathway of others. We can all do it. We can all give helping hands. We can all be successful. We need to think about each other, support each other, have empathy for each other. This was your host, Sahar Andradi.